So, my name's Hamilton. Z in the Outliers Club. We're going to play here tomorrow night. The Outliers Club playing here tomorrow night. We're out on the marquee out there, which means every one of us has taken a picture to put on a Facebook page. So, Keith is right, although somewhat of an asshole. I picked up sticks when I turned 50.
Yeah!
And the reason is somewhat twofold, because number one, when you turn 50, you go through something that we colloquially call a midlife crisis, okay, which is code for what the fuck can I do to not look old? All right? So, and at the time, you have a lot of choices, right? Skydiving, Harley, half an ounce of blow in a hooker, right? I mean, there's a lot of things you could have done, and what I decided to do was buy an electronic drum set and teach myself to play drums. That's one reason, midlife crisis. The other reason is because I am severely left-brained. I'm like really bad, okay? So, you know, the left side of your brain is analysis and goal-driven and mathematically oriented, right? So let me illustrate, right? So I have 3 degrees in earth science. I have been to the bottom of the ocean in an 8-foot titanium sphere called the Alvin and driven around in the mud. I have been a satellite oceanographer for NASA at the Jet Propulsion Lab. So clearly, I have a problem, okay, with that side of my brain. It's like really taken over. And the other side of your brain is creative and artistic and sensitive, and so I need more of that. But I came to this realization that the math side of your brain is also the music side of your brain. And if I wanted to do something that was a midlife crisis that would be good for me, setting aside the half ounce of blow in a hooker, which probably would have been good for a very short amount of time. It's like, okay, all right, well let's develop the music side of my brain, because the benefit there is you have to use the weak side of your body, all right? Now, so guitarist and that fret thing, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, all right? All right? But it's true for every instrument. You have to make the weak side of your body work, right? And so, as I taught myself to do this, I learned a number of secrets, right? And this is one of them, all right? So this is a double stroke roll, all right? Right? That's a double stroke roll, all right? And one of the secrets, and there's a lot of hand patterns that you can do here, right? But the basic thing is you gotta learn to do this. And the basic part of this is called this, all right? All right, so if this is a double stroke roll, what's this? Triple.
Diddle!
It's a diddle. It's a double stroke or a diddle, right? But what's different about this one? It's a diddle with my weak hand. Okay? So the first secret of drumming is you have to diddle with your weak hand as much as you possibly can. All right? Now look, I have diddled with my weak hand hundreds of thousands of times. All right? Just since I met Keith and John in Citizens Inc., right? They made me drive my ass out to Seebeck every fucking week for 8 years to practice, all right? All right? So, diddling with my weak hand, all right? Plus John complaining all the fucking time is how I learned to drum, all right? So, that's the first secret. And as a result, right? Because, like, if you have Alzheimer's disease, they say, okay, brush your teeth with your left hand. All right, well, it's the same thing, right? I mean, if you were actually doing this, you're really wiring up the weak side of your brain, so I'm now more creative. I don't snap as much as I used to. My wife, and you can ask her about this, I am a much more sensitive asshole now than I ever was. because I diddle with my weak hand all the fucking time. All right? All right. There are other secrets to drumming, all right? One more, I'll just tell you real quick. And this is really important. There are kind of three phases of drumming. The first one is, what the fuck am I doing? The second one is, what am I gonna do? And there's drummers out there now who are better than me, who can verify this. The third phase is, wow, this music sounds kind of good, right? And when you get to the point where you can actually have a discussion while you're doing this kind of thing, right? You know you've reached some kind of plateau. Now, very quickly, the bass unit of music is called the measure, all right? And there is a time signature in music that tells you certain things about the measure of the music and going forward, all right? And it's usually, it's always two numbers on top of each other. 4/4, all right? 6/8, 11/17. I don't recommend doing that. The top number is the number of beats per measure, right? So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, right? And then your hands can carve that up any way you want, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, right? The bottom number is the number of beats that you hold a whole note in that measure, okay? Here's how long I can hold a note. Okay, did you hear that? Let's hear this again. Here's how long I can hold a note. All right, so here's secret number 2. We don't care about your bottom fucking number, all right? It's only about the beats per measure and how you carve that up with your hands, all right? So, thank you very much, and in closing, let me say this is supposed to be, you know, musicians do comedy, and so what the fuck am I doing here anyway? I'm not a musician. I hang around with musicians. All right, thank you very much.
All right.